Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So our theme for this week, we are taking inspiration from Hispanic Heritage Month, which goes from September 15th to October 15th. So what we're going to be looking at? We're looking at some of our favorite books written by some amazing Hispanic and Latinx authors. So with that said, we have a little bit of a mix for everyone. There's everything from some realistic, there's some fantasy, we got some graphic novels. So let's take a look at these 6 amazing stories written by these incredible authors. So let's get started. Our first one is Each Tiny Spark. So Amelia lives with her mom and her abuela in Atlanta. On the day her mom leaves for a business trip, her father arrives home from being deployed overseas in the military. She's also trying to focus in school, but it is so hard because of her ADHD. In school, her social studies class is assigned a project that brings attention to the different social injustices that have happened in the past, as well as in the present. And this project then starts to cause rifts between her classmates and even between her and her best friend Gus. While all of this is going on, she starts to realize that even though her dad is back, her dad is not quite the same person he was before he left home, and Amelia is struggling trying to juggle all of this, while also being 12 years old and trying to keep her ADHD in from ruining everything. This book is amazing. It gives you some incredible insight into the mind of someone who has ADHD and provides this unique perspective, which can be kind of hard to understand if it's not something you have. So it kind of will also give you some incredible empathy. This is Each Tiny Spark. Esperanza Rising. So it's 1930 and Esperanza is living in Mexico with her wealthy family. But this soon changes when her father is murdered and she and her mother have to leave like immediately and move to California where things are dramatically different. Esperanza now has to work on a farm owned by one of their former workers that used to be in Mexico. And she starts to witness firsthand the treatment other migrant workers face as they try to avoid deportation, and they struggle with the government and they decide they're going to do something about it. And these farm workers start to come together and demand better treatment. Esperanza soon finds herself getting more and more involved in this movement, and she starts to take care of her family and herself, becoming a strong and independent individual, something that she probably would not have become if she was still living in Mexico, based on what her family needed from her there. This historical fiction book is based on the author's grandmother and her experiences growing up. Part memoir, part, a little bit like homage to her abuela. This is Esperanza Rising. The Total Eclipse of Nestor Lopez. So Nestor is used to moving all the time. His dad is in the military, he is in 6th grade, it is his 10th first day of school since starting 6th grade, and he has it down to a science. He knows how to pack his bedroom in 5 minutes, he knows how to keep his head down in the new school, and the biggest thing is he cannot let anyone know his secret, which is that he actually has the ability to talk to animals. With this move, he is now living in New Haven, Texas with his abuela, and things are different here, just from the get-go. Including the fact that even though he knows he can't make friends because he moves all the time, he makes friends. Even to go a step further, he ends up joining the trivia club at school, and this is completely something he usually doesn't do. Other weird things though start going on in the town though as more and more animals start to disappear. And then when Nestor is talking to some of the animals that are in the forest, he gets word from them that this is the work of what's known as a Tulibwehea, which is a witch. And this witch usually operates under an eclipse. But people really don't believe this either. I mean, if he's talking to animals, he can't go around saying, I heard this from a squirrel. People in the town think it's his abuela that is doing all of this, and they want to do something about it. And there is an eclipse coming. So Nestor knows it's going to be up to him if he's going to make sure nothing happens to his abuela. So, with the help of his friends, Nestor goes into the woods to take on this witch that is changing all the animals and what's going on in the forest. If you love a good magical folklore story, look no further. This is the Total Eclipse of Nestor Lopez. Mandu. Okay, so this is our graphic novel. So Mandu's short for Manuela, but don't call her that. She was orphaned when she was a baby, and she was raised by a group of religious sisters at this school on an island. And the school is for girls who have magical abilities. They go there to kind of hone their skills, train their abilities. Everyone wonders though about Mandu because she has the strongest abilities and powers out of all of them, but no one knows where she came from. Okay, so there's questions right there. There's another thing. She's like a little troublemaker, and it's when Mandu's power starts to malfunction, she thinks what's happening is she's being punished by the sisters for things that she's done. So naturally, what she decides to do is she's going to take matters into her own hands, and she goes to a demon, and she asks the demon to help her get her power, so her abilities back. Which then leads to some disastrous consequences that could change everything and everyone she knows. This incredibly done graphic novel is one that will take you on a journey with Mandu as she discovers not only herself, but as well as what she does and how it impacts the people around her, as well as what they mean to her. This is Mandu. The Storm Runner. So, living in New Mexico, Zane loves exploring the dormant volcano in his backyard with his dog Rosie. After being homeschooled last year, he has to go to school this year, and he is not looking forward to it. When his first day does not go nearly as planned and he finds himself at the principal's office, he meets Brooks. And Brooks then shortly shows up at his front door at home, unannounced, uninvited. She then proceeds to tell him that he is in danger. Not only is he in danger, he is a supernatural like she is. She is a shapeshifter, and it has been prophesied that he is going to release the Lord of Death, darkness and despair from his imprisonment in that volcano. Of course, naturally, Zane thinks this is like, no. He doesn't even know what to think, to be honest. Imagine if someone showed up on your doorstep saying this. Okay? His life then gets topsy-turvy, and Zane has no idea what to do or what is going to happen. This is the first in the series. If we do have book 2, this has everything from adventure and action, comedy, Mayan mythology. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. Again, it does end on a cliffhanger. You will need to get book 2, which is on the shelf as well. This is the Storm Runner. And our last one for this week is the first rule of punk. So when Mandu's parents divorce, she finds herself moving with her mom to Chicago, away from Florida and her dad. Mandu finds comfort in punk music. It seems it's the only thing that understands her, as she feels like she does not fit in with her mom or her new classmates, who call her a coconut, meaning that she is brown on the outside but white on the inside. She decides that she is going to prove herself and her classmates that she is proud of her Mexican roots, and decides that she's going to form a band. And that band is going to blend punk music with classical Mexican styles. You will find yourself wanting to know what happens next, as well as completely relating to Mandu as she tries to find and discover things about herself, become her own person, figure out where her place is in her life and in her family. Completely heartwarming, but something again also completely relatable. This is First Rule of Punk. And these are just 6 of the books that we have here at the library that are written by some amazing Hispanic Latinx authors. So I encourage you to come out, check out one of these, or we do have others. If maybe you're not feeling one of these, we can help you find another one, I promise. Because, you know, we all get into these different reading moods. I get it. We can help you though find and figure out whatever your reading mood is at this time. I encourage you to have an incredible week. I really hope you do. And I hope to see you next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight.